the thing is, there's a framework here, if you don't mind if I add to your
Please.
framework. The framework here is this is a mathematical formula. So I've been following these extremely closely live and looking at how this is done. Let's go backwards in time. You remember what was going on in California. Nobody died in California. There was an ICE raid on a Home Depot, and they went nuts. And they started smashing police cars. They were starting fires, right? This was not over somebody dying. And now the narrative, they're trying to make the narrative shift. The Gestapo's in here, murdering American citizens. Well, and what was going on in California then? Because there was no American citizens getting murdered there. What was going on there was they did an ICE raid in a Home Depot, which anybody who's been to California knows that, it used to be that you drive down the street and they would all hang out in front of the Home Depot and you'd say two.
Right.
And they'd hop in the truck and you would, they would go, they were day laborers, right? So it didn't surprise me that they were there doing daily raids. Okay, that doesn't surprise me a bit. And they all went ballistic. Now, here's what was very curious about the coverage of that. And I had a debate with a couple of leftists on this. What I saw was what looked to me to be a police stand-down order. There was people who were breaking into, I don't remember if it was an Amco or a 7-Eleven, but they were busting into it, and the cops were on the side corner watching this go down and didn't do anything. They didn't do anything about it.
Right.
Okay. If it got too rowdy, they'd clear it out, and then they let them continue. It looked like a stand-down order, like you don't involve yourself. Well, what I think these guys have figured out is a mathematical formula, and it works like this. If the local police are not going to protect the federal buildings, then it's left to the federal police to do this, right? In this case, ICE is going to protect its own buildings. The FBI is going to protect its own buildings. If the local police aren't going to protect it and it's surrounded, then who does the protection then? And this is why Trump, he unleashes the National Guard, but where? To those federal buildings, to protect those federal buildings. That was the whole point of it.